Folks, what we're witnessing right now is historic. President Trump just unleashed the most massive trade war in modern history, and the entire world is scrambling. Over 60 countries are literally racing against the clock to cut deals with America before devastating tariffs hit their economies. The global elites are panicking, stock markets are tumbling, and world leaders who used to lecture America are now begging for mercy. This isn't just about trade. This is about America finally fighting back and showing the world who's really in charge. Buckle up, because what happens next will reshape the global economy forever. Let me break down exactly what Trump just did that has the entire world in complete chaos. On August 1st, President Trump dropped the hammer with his latest executive order, imposing tariffs ranging from 10 to a crushing 50% on dozens of countries. We're talking about Canada getting hit with 35% tariffs, Brazil getting slammed with 50%, India facing 25%, and Switzerland, yes, neutral Switzerland, getting hammered with 39%. Even traditional allies aren't safe. This is Trump's reciprocal tariff strategy in action, and it's working exactly as planned. The numbers are staggering. We're looking at $2.3 trillion in goods imports affected, covering 71% of all U.S. imports. This isn't some small adjustment, folks. This is a complete reset of decades of failed globalist trade policy that sold out American workers. And here's where it gets really interesting. Countries are literally lining up to make deals with Trump because they know he means business. The European Union, those same people who used to mock Trump, just agreed to a massive $750 billion energy deal and $600 billion in U.S. investments by 2028. They're also buying American military equipment and accepting a 15% tariff rate. Compare that to the 30% Trump was threatening. Japan, they've committed to investing $550 billion. That's billion with a B in American industries, while accepting a 15% baseline tariff. The UK got one of the best deals at just 10% because they were smart enough to negotiate early. Even countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, and the Philippines are scrambling to make deals. South Korea and Taiwan are desperately negotiating as we speak. Mexico got a 90-day extension after President Sheinbaum called Trump directly, but only because they're actually cooperating on border security. Now, the mainstream media wants you to believe this is chaos and economic disaster. But let's look at what's really happening here. Trump is using tariffs as the ultimate negotiating tool, and it's genius. These countries have been taking advantage of America for decades. We've had massive trade deficits, lost millions of manufacturing jobs, and watched our industrial base get shipped overseas. Trump is saying, no more. The beauty of this strategy is simple. You want to sell to the American market, the biggest, richest market in the world? Then you play by our rules, you invest in our workers, and you treat America as an equal partner, not some cash cow to exploit. And guess what? It's working. We're already seeing billions in investment commitments, American manufacturing jobs coming back, and countries finally respecting American strength. Now, the critics will say, but what about higher prices for consumers? Here's the thing they don't want to tell you. Trump is incentivizing companies to build right here in America. As Trump himself said, they will face no tariff if they decide to build or manufacture products in our country. That's the whole point. We want jobs here, factories here, and economic independence here. Yes, there might be some short-term adjustments, but we're talking about bringing back American manufacturing, reducing our dependence on foreign countries, and making America the world's premier destination for investment and innovation. The Tax Foundation estimates these tariffs will generate over $124 billion in revenue, while countries are committing over $1.9 trillion in investments and energy purchases. That's not economic chaos, that's economic victory. Here's the bottom line, folks. For the first time in decades, America is dictating terms to the world instead of being dictated to. Countries that used to ignore us are now desperately calling the White House. Leaders who mocked America first are now scrambling to make deals that benefit American workers. This is what happens when you have a president who actually fights for America instead of apologizing for our success. The global elites hate it, the mainstream media can't stand it, but working Americans are about to see the benefits of having a leader who puts our country first. The trade war isn't chaos, it's America winning again, and we're just getting started.